This video will be about the basics of the Google Apps. I'm actually going to start in Google Drive. The reason I start here is because everything you do in any of the Google Apps, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here by clicking on the red New button. So anything you create in Google Docs will be saved in your Drive, Sheets will be saved in Drive, Slides, Forms, and Drawings. And in other videos I talk about these connected apps, but I'm not going to talk about those at all this time. I'm only going to talk about the actual Google Apps themselves, which are Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, and Drawings, and talk about what you can do in each one. So for the basics, Google Docs, think of Microsoft Word. It's essentially a word processing app. It allows you to create papers. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And if you notice, it looks similar to the layout of Microsoft Word. It does work almost the same way. There are some differences, and there are a few things that you have to get used to, but for the most part it works the same. If you can use Word, you can use Google Docs. I personally prefer Google Docs. I'm actually working on doing some graduate work, and it makes things a lot easier to share with professors, to share with other some of my colleagues and some of my fellow classmates when we're collaborating on projects. It makes things a lot simpler to share and move back and forth. The next I will talk about, next Google app, will be Google Sheets. Google Sheets is essentially a spreadsheet. Think of Microsoft Excel. I hate to keep going back to the Office products, but that's what it's designed to compete with, and that's what it's designed to replace. I'll be honest, I'm not a spreadsheet guy. I can do some basics. Everything that I need to do, it has been wonderful. I have no complaints. It even connects with some of the other Google apps to create like answer sheets and organize your information. So later I'll show you can create a Google form, and all the answers you pull from the Google form will actually be saved into a Google Sheet, which helps you keep your information clear and easy to read. The next will be Google Slides. Google Slides presentation tool. There are similarities between this and PowerPoint. PowerPoint obviously is a lot more robust from what I've seen. You have a lot more options, but I will say that for what I like to do and the presentations I use, I think Sheets does a wonderful job. I've used several presentations, created several presentations using Sheets. Something simple, quick, and to the point, and it does what I need it to do. The next will be Google Forms. Google Forms to me is probably the most awesome out of all of them. I don't use it as much as I would like, but you can create questionnaires, multiple choice questions. You can create, let me get back in here. Paragraph, text, multiple choice, check boxes, choose from a list. It's a great way to do surveys. It's a great way to do tests if you want to go paperless. If you're an educator and you want to go paperless, it's a great way to create tests. There's even add-ons that allow you to, when you your students send their responses, they can actually, there's an add-on for Google Sheets that will even grade your homework for you, or all the students' responses for you, so it'll take care of you in your grading. So once you create the form, you connect everything, and it's graded and taken care of for you. That's another video. I'll go over that in a later video, but all this is connected, especially Google Forms and Google Sheets, because any of the forms, whether it's a survey, whether it's a quiz, whether it's a test, whether it's just we even had one of the teachers in the school create a list if you weren't interested in buying barbecue for a fundraiser, and if you were, how much you wanted, and people could put that information in. It was a great way, and it sent it directly to Google Sheets, and she had a wonderful spreadsheet. It was clean to the point, had the person's name, had what they wanted, when they ordered it, and whether or not, and she could go in and add whether or not they paid. It just kept all the information organized for her, and then she was able to share that with the people that she was helping with the fundraiser, which, the ability to share this and send it to other people is the great thing. Anyone with a Google account, or even without a Google account, you can send this and they can log in and answer your questions or connect to the apps. The last one I will show you is Google Drawings. This one is different from the others. It's essentially a drawing. Kind of think of Microsoft Paint, but in my opinion, you can do a lot more with this than you can in Microsoft Paint. It is very, I don't even know how to begin. There's more to this than I've seen so far. I've seen some people create amazing things with Google Drawings. It can be incorporated with any of the other documents. If you want to add a item from a Google Drawing, if you're creating a logo for your school and you want to add it to your form, or if you're creating a flyer and you want to create a logo and drop it into the flyer, so everyone, and make your flyer look a little bit better, so you can take the drawing and drop it into your Google Doc and you can make this wonderful flyer. There's so much you can do with these apps, and they're all connected. As we go through, I'm going to do single videos for each one to go more in depth over the basics, and then I will show you some of these actually have add-ons to make them even more robust. Google Docs especially. I'll be working on a dissertation soon, and I plan to use Google Docs for it all because of how much I can actually do with that and what options are there for me. So I hope this gives you an idea of what each one is and a little bit of how they're all connected. As we go on, I will talk more about each individual one. Those videos will be coming, and I hope if you have any questions, you let me know. Thank you.